Okay, there's nothing democratic about limited selection, right? There's nothing democratic at all. These are your choices. No, that's not democracy. That's eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and it's all the same prize. I think it's time we just formed our own government. I've completely lost faith in all of. I've never really had any faith in any of them. I didn't. Never have. Let's just say there should be serious questions already. There should be serious questions being asked. I should have an email or a visit by now. Hasn't happened. I don't know, these things take time. But now since Gulf Whitlam installed the fraudulent constitution in 1973, I think we gave him more than enough time. 52 years worth of time. I was born in 1973.
Like you almost can't participate in the privilege and kind of the fun of films and everything. We all want to, but these are not normal times, and it's like we have extrajudicial like assaults on Americans and humans going on a daily basis now, and it's not okay. And even though all people kind of have to put one foot in front of the other and deal with the demands of the day, we cannot act like this is not happening. And I think I think what they're doing in Minnesota with the strike needs to expand. I think we should be talking about a national general economic strike until this is over and stopped.
Edward Norton, alongside Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde, sat down with the Los Angeles Times to discuss their movie The Invite. When prompted about the events taking place, he said we need a general strike.
You're not small. You're not small talk. You're big talk.
Yeah,
You're big talk.
these days it's like, what are we going to do about mass Gestapo?
Yeah, exactly.
Shooting American citizens.
Yeah.
Small talk. Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you found the answer?
We're sitting here talking about movies while the illegal army is being mounted against U.S. citizens.
Yep, he would make his politics known and how he despises the moment we are living in during another discussion with the Hollywood Reporter's YouTube channel. You know what? I'm going to be real with you. Edward Norton knows what's going on because talks of a general strike are simply heating up in this country.
I think that general strike is the most powerful and maybe most effective way to hit them where it hurts. No matter what we do, it just seems like they're not listening. We can have thousands of people in the streets and they see that, but they don't respect it. We don't know it, but we are what is keeping them going. We are the ones who are providing them with food to eat, providing them with transportation, providing them with mail, providing them with everything. People are being violently torn out of their cars, killed on the streets, and it's so upsetting. ICE should not be in the way of people's daily lives, of people's work, of people's school, of people's education.
If you want to understand real power and the difference between being right and being...
The problem with those, which is all of them, they all pretend like they're listening. Well, they're taking notice. It's only data collection. Okay, well, we certainly have a problem here. How can we overcome that? How do we know it's a problem? Because we asked them and they told us. See, you smooth people's egos and give them a gravy sandwich to wash down the chicken bones and tell them it's good for them and it tastes yummy. It's amazing what they'll give in return. And what will they give in return? Empty promises based on what you asked for. It'll look like what you asked for. It's just how they create a problem so that you ask for the solution that they've already got organised, ready to go. Ask people about gun control and gun reform. Get everyone's opinion. Cool. Now we know how to clamp down on it harder. Because we know why everybody wants them.
Effective. Stop watching protests and start watching gross domestic product, specifically GDP. Trump does not respond to outrage. He responds to markets. And that's not cynicism, it's mechanics. I'm not talking about a labor strike. This isn't unions, picket lines, or collective bargaining. I'm talking about something quieter, far more unsettling to the system, and that is an economic strike. A short-term coordinated withdrawal from spending and maybe work. No marching, no slogans, just less. And
well, they
something
did
we
that.
forget.
They did that in Minnesota. They had a day, the businesses
It
closed.
can't be a day. A day is annoyance. It needs to be a week or a month, and it needs to be national. The U.S. economy is $27 trillion. That's $74 billion a day. And here's our power, Kara. Our economy is 70% consumer-driven. Consumers actually have more power, not in signs or in guns or even in their vote right now. They have it in the power of the purse. It's a question about what actually works, and the history and the data, I believe, are not ambiguous. When nothing moves, everyone listens, and that's not ideology, it's economics. And in a system, capitalism built entirely on participation, the most radical act in capitalism isn't protest.
This is the only thing that matters right now, and normal life has to stop. So I believe so strongly in what we're doing here with calling for a legitimate general strike. DHS and ICE are bankrupting us as a society. They're taking up so many vital resources that we could be using towards teachers and healthcare and infrastructure. We're putting it towards militarizing people to come terrorize us in our cities and divide us and kill us, like execute us. The majority of us are the workers, and we make society run. ICE needs to go. They are not keeping us safe. We were safe without them. We were building community together without them. We're still doing that while they're here, as everyone has seen. What unites us is our class.
That there actually doesn't work. We think it does. Why doesn't it work? Because they plant people to go and make us march for something that they plan to actually give some of back. They actually intend to sacrifice some ground back to us. Just a little bit. Enough for us to go, yeah, we won that one. And back to sleep we go. But there's also the other side of the coin. They plant antagonists and provocateurs to cause a problem, to make a nuisance of themselves. As we have seen time and time again in the COVID protests, they used the CFMEU. They use people central casting, we call them, Abiy Yemeni to G people up, to get people wound up. Scott Challen. A couple of scuffles break out, and then next thing you know, oh, the police are called, and then it's, and all the people are unruly, and there was riots. It always starts off with one altercation. Everything starts off with one altercation. The first one. And the first one is usually provoked, planted, planned. It's basic human behaviour. If you figure out basic human behaviour, it's easy to set off 1,000 people. Easy. A classic example of basic human behaviour. If you go to a protest or, say, a party launch, and there's always some people placed around. There are a couple of key points that are made, they seem to know when to clap, and they'll be the ones that are going to clap the loudest. Oh! Everyone starts clapping because someone else is clapping. It's manipulation through motivation by using people's emotions, by telling them what they want to hear. And geez, we fall for it every time. If you want to be heard, if you really want to be heard, stop the pocket money. Kids soon whinge and go and clean their room and do their chores when you stop the pocket money, don't they? Sometimes kids are that bad. They need to go live with grandma for a while or go to a boot camp. Sometimes, when it's an employee, which the government are, they're an administrator that are misappropriating company funds, they need to be sacked and held accountable and made to repay the money. It's called restitution.
DHS and ICE are bankrupting us as a society. They're taking up so many vital resources that we could be using towards teachers and healthcare and infrastructure. We're putting it towards militarizing people to come terrorize us in our cities and divide us and kill us, like execute us. The majority of us.
How do we do it? Economic strategy. Stop the economy. Bring the government's economy to a grinding halt. That's not our debt, that's the government's debt. But they owe us money. I'm sorry, we didn't buy the money, the government did. Take it up with those people. And we'll have our country back too, thanks. And we'll put some people in place that we trust. People that can actually handle money and have enough integrity to say no to lobbyists. No to the point that, no, we don't do lobbyists. Piss off. A lobbyist is only there for their own interest because they have something to gain in the future.
Are the workers, and we make society run. ICE needs to go. They are not keeping us safe. We were safe without them. We were building community together without them. We're still doing that while they're here, as everyone has seen. What unites us is our class.
On Friday, it's a general strike. No work, no school. If we can shut the economy down, that's the goal. Shut it down. No ICE. Get out. The workers got to take the power.
What's the official position of the Teamsters on the question of a strike?
The person I talked to said they can't back it. They can't support it because it's a work stoppage. So it doesn't sound like Teamsters are backing us up.
Are you aware that the nurses are out on strike in New York City?
No, I didn't know that.
15,000 of them are on strike. Would you like to say something to the nurses?
Best of luck. I mean, hold out. Mm-hmm. Get what you need. Mm-hmm. Get everything you need.
And Minneapolis brought out 100,000 people for a general strike on Friday, and the only tool we really have to fight back against ICE terror is to expand and extend that general strike to a nationwide general strike. This Friday, no work, cut it all off.
And there is good reason why. Firstly, activists and organizations around this country are calling for a general strike on Friday, January 30th. I truly, truly hope you will all partake. Here's what's going down.
Racing season can be hard. Favourites might lose. And sometimes there's even a dead heat. But at least having a bet is fast and easy with Sportsbet, the #1 app for having a crack.
Chances are you're about to lose.
Chances are, if you've got a gambling addiction, you just got triggered.
There are a ton of organizations, a ton of activists that are advocating for this. And I'll just piggyback off of what many others said previously in this video. It is rather clear. When you are upset, when you are annoyed, when you are peeved, when you are frightened, when you are angered, when you are saddened, when you're frustrated, when you feel like the system is not speaking to you anymore, and you see your tax dollars going to so many atrocities, whether it is the genocides across the ocean and around the world, or it is the purge that is happening on behalf of the federal government here. The strongest card that you can play as an American citizen is, number one, to build coalitions. You need to be with like-minded people, and you need to reach out to non-like-minded people and try and educate them on how all of our struggles are interconnected. Secondly, and this is most important, participate in the general strike that is happening on Friday. I am going to be going to these rallies and these protests, and if you're out there, say hello. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of people, but what I think is just so vital in this moment is to participate. Do you know what Trump and the oligarchs hate? When they don't get money. They are driven by profit. The number one thing that you do is give money to the economy, to your boss, to different companies that own products. If you decide, you know what, I am not going to order DoorDash, I am not going to go to the grocery store, I am not going to buy something on Amazon Prime or Prime Video or rent something on YouTube. I'm not going to even watch YouTube, or I have to skip an ad because technically you're paying a company for your eyeballs. If you withhold all of your labor and it makes a dent into the economy, it will show how much power we have, and the oligarchs will be paying attention. Because once again, if they lose money, that is the way to literally make a dent in how they go forward. If we continue to withhold our labor, they will have no choice but to meet the demands of the people. There are too many of us. The problem is we are too disorganized. This Friday, we become organized. I need everyone to participate in any way you possibly can. Thank you.
Please become a paid member here at TYT Sports.
In order for that to work, though, first, we must know as a collective what we want. What do you want? We have to base that on needs versus wants. You see, we have a government that places the wants of lobbyists over the needs of the people. And it doesn't matter who's in charge, because they're still talking about the same things, doesn't matter who it is, it's the same rhetoric. A detention centre that doesn't have enough beds, enough rooms to stick naughty kids in. That doesn't fix the problem. That's still a band-aid solution for a gaping wound. Why do we have naughty kids in the first place? Why aren't parents capable of doing their job? Let alone able, not capable. How is it someone like me can have two perfectly well-behaved kids who actually look forward to going to college and tutoring, and other kids are dropping out of school in grade 7, grade 8. Most kids, it seems to be around here. I'm not walking around here pissed and stoned all the time. What happened to vagrancy? Not vagrancy in the sense, alright, kids underage, clear down underage. What's your name? What school to go to? Take them back to the school. Take them back to school. Pick them up. Take them back to school. Keep taking them back to school. You can't be out running around in the daytime causing a nuisance. Go back to school. Why? Because otherwise you're going to be an adult running around causing a nuisance, because you won't be able to read, write, get a job. There you go. It's case in point. All the time. I think he's just 18 now. He hasn't been to school for 4 or 5 years. There's a whole bunch of them. They're fully fledged drunks and crackheads. It's sad. I'm not having a go with them. This is something that's done to them. Making them out to be the bad guys when they're only kids. This was done to them. They are the victims in all this. You probably can't see him from here, can you? Alright, can we? Just milling around out there. You know, their lives are ruined. They're never going to amount to anything. They're never going to have anything. They're never going to do anything. They're never going to make anything of themselves. They're never going to have any self-esteem, self-worth, dignity, pride of any accomplishments. How can they? So what are you going to do? Stick them in a hole? It's not a solution. That's sweeping it under the rug. That's pretending the problem's not there. Because what happens? We just keep on creating that problem over and over. How many more generations can we go on like this? We can't look around and pretend we don't see it. This isn't a Muslim problem. It's not even an immigration problem. It's a government problem. It's a politics problem. It's a DEI problem. It's a greed problem. It's everyone's got a right, no one has a responsibility problem. It's a no accountability for no consequences problem, because if you give somebody consequences early enough, you nip the problem in the bud and they don't become a lifelong problem. Same with government. We should have nipped that in the bud a long time ago. Long time ago. We should have withdrew our consent decades ago. Don't vote. I know. Hello, Pauline, I don't vote. I'm not going to vote for you. I'm not going to vote. Because the system is broken and corrupt. It's upside down. When you've got a government over a constitution, which is over a people, that's not a constitution. That's a tyranny. That's fascism 101. It's dictatorial. I'm not meaning this in a nasty way. I'm just not scared to say it. That's all. I'm just not scared to say it, call it what it is. I'm not taking this as a personal direct hit at you personally. I can actually see that there's somebody worth something in there. There really is. I saw that. I get that. I actually take some of the things back. Some of my thoughts I had misconstrued. But we need to gut this Freemasonry bullshit. It's got to go. They've got their fingers in everything. But I'm telling you now, at least 2 to 3 of those people that stood up on that stage the other day, I'm telling you, I don't know them, but I'll guarantee you, my little pinky, that they're Freemasons, local Freemasons. They advertise with signs on their buildings, wanted members. We have children Freemasons. There's a children's Freemasonry. What the hell? There's nothing. This is not merit based. It's membership based. Join the club and you can have everything you want. All compliments to the taxpayer. We'll pass things for you through council that nobody else can get past. We'll make sure that you get first offer on tenders on property, things like that. On public property that we class as council land. It's all as rotten as a chop. Freemasonry, the cops are riddled with it. The police are absolutely riddled with it. And I know that's how the drugs get in, because that once upon a time was my world. The painters and dockers run the wharfs and the docks, the loading and unloading of trucks. The shipping companies and trucking companies probably don't even know what's in them. They wouldn't know what they're carting. They don't. How can they? All they know is whatever's on their clipboard, on the inventory list. Just because it says that it's 10 pallets of sugar doesn't mean it's 10 pallets of sugar. It just looks like 10 pallets of sugar. When my uncle was managing Maldives Islands, he used to order his marijuana in the kitchen supplies as herbs. And he was the bookings and tour guide manager for Maldives Islands once. I know how the world works pretty well. Not everything, but I know enough. Because I know some of the people. Not as friends, I just know them. Used to be friends. Just because you've got a new driver behind the steering wheel of the bus doesn't mean it's a whole new bus route. Please do the right thing. God bless you.